Hey everyone, I'm sitting by the pool. You might see me squinting because the sun's coming like in and out, and I just didn't bring my sunglasses because it was pretty overcast most of the morning. But it's like warm and it's nice because it's not super sunny, and I'm just relaxing. We got back yesterday. I was gone for 6 days visiting my family up in Northwest Texas for my uncle's like funeral memorial service, and it was a lot of fun. So when I got up there, like the weather was pretty like mild for the first day, but then it got extremely hot. So that's why I'm like thrilled to be sitting by the pool, and it's like not super sunny or very hot, although the water's very warm because it was hot here as well. But it was really hot over there. I ended up getting like a sunburn for just being outside for a few minutes like midday, but you know, it's okay. I'll be a nice shade of tan. But yeah, I just wanted to check in with you guys. We got back late last night and I went to sleep. I got a really good night's rest. It was fun to be over there, but I'm also just very glad to be home because I like being at home. But once I got there, it was just a lot of planning. Like, we loaded up my mom's SUV. It was completely full of things that we were taking to my aunt and my cousins, because my aunt was going to have a big garage sale, and there was just a lot of stuff we needed to get rid of. So we fully loaded my mom's SUV. Like, we put the seats down and everything, and the dog had to like sit in the front seat with us because there was no space for him in the back. But we went and we were there Wednesday through Monday. And once we got there, like, we visited everyone, kind of made the rounds to all my uncles and like aunt's house and my cousins. We were staying with my cousin. We unloaded all this stuff. We went to my grandmother's like gravesite because we had gotten some like marble rock to replace the rock that she had like in her gravestone, and we like spread that out, cleaned it all up, added some new flowers and things like that. And then we did the same for my aunt because my uncle was being buried like next to her, and we knew that people were going to be like visiting both graves. So we just like, you know, cleaned up the area. If there were old flowers, kind of threw them out, replaced them with new ones. And then like a lot of my family started arriving. And my mother was actually very surprised because a lot of my extended family, like her cousins, showed up, and there were just so many people there. We were having such a good time, but then we were also organizing like meals and things like that. So it was just very busy. I was running a lot of errands. And then we had the actual like memorial service that was going to be happening on Saturday. So we had to go to like flower shop and order like live flowers and things like that, because you guys know that I had put together the artificial like flowers, but when we got there, like my uncle told us that the church prefers to have like living flowers. So we went and ordered like a big spray, and we were still able to use the artificial flowers, but they also wanted some like living ones, or like real flowers I should say. And so we got all that set up. My cousins were there to help me as well, and we just had a great time. The memorial service was beautiful. The mass was very nice. And then my uncle was an army veteran, so he had like military honors when we went to the cemetery, and we buried his ashes. And then from there, at the church hall, we had like a catered lunch. And after that, we like went to one of my other uncle's houses, and we were there all afternoon. We ended up having a big barbecue, and I don't think I went to sleep until like 2 or 3 a.m. that night, because we were just like all hanging out outside, laughing, joking, reminiscing about my uncle. And yeah, it was a really great time. There was also like a thunderstorm that rolled in towards like later in the evening, and it started pouring on us, and like all of my mom and my uncles and their cousins like went to my uncle's house. So the piece of property that we were on, like on one side is my uncle's house, and then on the other side is his daughter's house. So they all went to my uncle's house, and then like all of my cousins and like people my age, we went to my cousin's house, like out on her back porch, because she has a covered porch, and we continued like barbecuing and cooking out, and just hanging out, drinking, having a good time. It was just a lot of fun. And then the next day we like all got together and kind of had like, we went out to dinner. One of my uncles actually invited me to go to a play that he was going to go see at the like canyon. And yeah, I just really enjoyed being with my family. We're a very large family, and everyone kind of behaved themselves. There were no arguments between people or anything like that. I will say that, and this is probably true of every family, like, we're dysfunctional in our own way, but everyone behaved themselves. And you could tell that there were things like bubbling under the surface, or, relationships between siblings and parents and children that, things aren't as great as they could be, but everyone was like on their best behavior. And yeah, I also came to a realization like that I know I can be a perfectionist, and I want things to be super perfect all the time. But even one of my uncles, who's very similar to me, he was like, he told me that he was really stressed about the memorial service, because even though we had organized so much up front, he wanted everything to be perfect. But he told me that like over the years, he's learned that we live in an imperfect world. So wanting things to be perfect, it's only going to cause you to be unhappy. And he was like, so just accept the imperfections and be happy. And when he told me that, and then I reflected kind of on how the whole week had gone, I agree with him 100%, because I know I can be very organized. I like things to be done a certain way, but people are gonna do whatever they're gonna do, not do whatever they're gonna do. You can't really control everything, and you just have to choose to be happy and like roll with the punches. So I think it was a really, really nice weekend. And it also, like, I can be very judgmental often. I don't want to say at times because I'm very judgmental often, but I think that, you know, being around my family, you know, I love them and I wish them nothing but the best. I want nothing but the best for them, but they also like choose to live their lives their own way. And all I can do is support them when I can and, you know, pray for them when they're like not doing their best, or when they're arguing with, you know, their siblings or their kids, or, you know, they're having issues. So yeah, like I think I made a good decision in moving to Dallas to be closer to my family, and I'm definitely going to like be around them much more often, but it's also going to be kind of on my terms, and I don't want to get like wrapped up in any of their drama. I do feel for them with some of the stuff that, you know, some of my family's going through, but some of it's also kind of their own doing, and all I can do is love them and support them and interact with them in ways that are positive for both of us, and, you know, for all of us, and not getting like wrapped up in their drama. But I'm here for them. I'm definitely here for them if they ever need anything. And, you know, I hope to see them a lot more often. Like, I'm planning on having some cousins come visit down here in Dallas. So that'll be nice. But it was just a really, really beautiful week. I'm exhausted. Like today, you can probably hear like a rasp in my voice, but it's just because I was like always talking and screaming and yelling. So I kind of lost my voice a little bit, but it's not too bad. Yeah. I was a little disappointed because last week I had a like second interview and I never heard anything back from the company. And I still, like, today's Tuesday and I still haven't heard anything from them. I'm hoping that they're just delayed. Maybe people were on vacation or something like that, because I am like really interested in this position. It'd be nice to get it. So I'm just going to hope that they call me back for like third round of interviews. There's actually 4 rounds with this company. So it would be like another round and then the final round. So we'll see what happens there. If not, I do need to like buckle down and actually get a job. Because I can't sit by the pool all day, all the time. But things have been good so far. Yeah, I just wanted to give you all an update. I know I need to edit and post, and I will. It's just been something that like I haven't wanted to sit down and actually like work on my computer or do anything like that, but I know that I need to. And I also need to organize my closet. Everything that I packed for the trip like went really well. Like I had clothes for all the occasions. I had all my toiletries, and I wasn't like overpacked. It was just, everything fit in my suitcase for the week. And it was so crazy. Like we had taken so much stuff and unloaded so much over there that when we came back, all we had were like our 2 suitcases and like a big container of dirty clothes. And it was just like, wait, this is it? This is all that we packed? But yeah, my dog also had a good time because my cousin has a dog. She's like an English bulldog. And when we lived over there, like they would always hang out together. And so my dog hasn't seen her in years, like the English bulldog in years. And they were just so happy to see each other. They like played the whole time. And he was just like hanging out with her. So he was totally fine. Yeah. And my mom, like she loves to talk to everyone. And so she was like always in the mix, like with her cousins and her brothers. My mom, since she got to visit with all of her cousins, like she's really into researching family history and things like that. So she likes pulling up like birth certificates and census documents and things like that list my grandmother, like my grandparents, my great-grandparents, my great-great-grandparents. And because she was like with her cousins, who she hasn't seen in a while, so they're my grandmother's like nieces and nephews, because her, like my grandmother and their father and their fathers were siblings. So because she was hanging out with them, she was like telling them all the stuff that she's uncovered in doing her family history research. And they were like, oh, well, we have like a copy of so-and-so's birth certificate. And since they all like flew back to their houses, they've been like sending her emails and texts with like photos of the documents. So she's like super excited. This morning she was like awake and hollering at me that she had gotten like my great grandmother's birth certificate, a copy of that, and then a copy of like one of her great aunt's birth certificates. So she's going to add that into all of the like family history documentation that she's putting together. So yeah, it's just like actually sitting by the pool is really, really nice. There are some like lounge chairs in the water, but they like recline too much, and I wanted to be able to film, so I'm just kind of sitting in one of the like pool loungers. But I think I'm about to like take another dip and then head back, because I only want to be out here for about an hour, and then I'll go shower and see if I can't do something about my closet. But yeah, just hanging out today, giving you guys an update, hanging by the pool. So I guess I will talk to you all later.